They say not all treasures are buried underground. Some are hiding in plain sight, resting quietly in your pocket change. Imagine this. A single old penny, tarnished by time, turning out to be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But the 1967 Lincoln penny, especially one with a rare D mint mark error, has proven that even the smallest coin can hold unimaginable value. Now, before you shrug it off as just another penny, picture this. A man cleaning out his father's old coin jar finds a 1967 D Lincoln cent. It looks ordinary, but after a little research, he discovers its striking minting error and sells it at auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars. In today's market, pristine examples and rare variations of this coin can command prices up to an astonishing $967,000. Not bad for something that once bought a piece of bubble gum. Let's dive deeper into why this humble coin has collectors buzzing, investors bidding, and treasure hunters scouring their drawers. The 1967 Lincoln penny was born during a turbulent time in American coinage history. The U.S. Mint had just removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967 to discourage coin hoarding. Yet, due to a few mysterious errors, some pennies with the D mint mark meant for Denver escaped into circulation. These rare survivors became instant legends among numismatists. Think about that for a second. A small detail, a letter that wasn't supposed to exist, turned a common coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. It's a reminder that sometimes the smallest mistakes lead to the biggest rewards. Of course, rarity alone doesn't make a coin worth nearly $1 million. Condition, color, and strike quality all play crucial roles. The difference between a penny worth 1 cent and one worth $967,000 often lies in its luster, its lack of wear, and the crispness of Abraham Lincoln's profile. Coins graded mint state by professional services like PCGS or NGC are the true gold mines here. And let's talk about value growth. Over the past decade, the market for rare U.S. coins has skyrocketed. As investors diversify their portfolios beyond real estate and stocks, collectible coins, especially historical errors like the 1967 D Lincoln penny, have become the new currency of wealth preservation. It's like art collecting, but instead of hanging on a wall, your masterpiece fits in the palm of your hand. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. Some experts believe there are still undiscovered 1967 D Lincoln pennies hiding in circulation, buried in old piggy banks, or sealed in forgotten coin rolls. Could one be sitting in your house right now? It's not just wishful thinking. Every year, collectors uncover hidden gems worth thousands, even millions. So, what should you look for? Start with the mint mark. While official 1967 coins shouldn't have one, any penny showing a D below the date could be a rare anomaly. Next, inspect the coin's surface. Sharp details, minimal scratches, and a gleaming copper red hue all signal higher value. If you're lucky enough to spot one with a double die error, where design elements are slightly doubled, you might just be holding a six-figure treasure. And here's a little humor for perspective. Somewhere, someone once used one of these rare pennies to pay for parking. That's right. $1 million coin tossed into a meter. Painful? Absolutely. But it proves one thing. Opportunity doesn't always announce itself. It jingles quietly in your change jar. Still, don't be too quick to cash out at the first offer. The numismatic market thrives on authenticity and certification. Before you sell, send your coin to a reputable grading service for evaluation. Once certified, your penny could fetch far more at auction than through a casual sale. Many collectors underestimate how a professional grade can multiply a coin's value several times over. And here's the kicker. While the most famous 1967 D penny fetched close to $967,000, several other examples have sold for tens of thousands depending on condition and rarity. Even a moderately preserved version can easily bring in a few hundred or a few $1,000s. Not bad for a coin most people overlook. But let's be honest, the thrill isn't just about the money, it's about the chase. It's about holding history, touching something that outlived generations, and realizing that wealth sometimes hides in the ordinary. Every old coin tells a story, and the 1967 D Lincoln penny tells one of mystery, error, and extraordinary fortune. So, what if the next great discovery isn't in a museum or auction house, but in your hands? What if that old coffee can full of change sitting in your garage holds your first step toward financial freedom? Time is ticking. Coins age, values rise, and opportunities disappear as more collectors enter the market. Each year, fewer unsearched coin rolls remain, and each discovery pushes prices higher. The question isn't whether these coins are worth searching for, it's whether you'll act before they vanish from circulation forever. The 1967 D. Lincoln penny is more than a collector's item. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, a reminder that fortune favors the observant. And in a world obsessed with digital assets and fleeting trends, the tangible value of a rare coin stands as a timeless investment. If you've ever dreamed of living a life of abundance, of turning something ordinary into a life-changing opportunity, now's your moment. Take out your old coins, look closely, and who knows, the path to your wealthier future might just start with a single penny. Before you go, don't forget, every like, every subscribe, and every comment keeps this treasure hunting community alive. Join others just like you who are uncovering the riches hidden in everyday life. Your next million-dollar discovery could be waiting in your pocket. Now go ahead, check your change. Because sometimes, destiny comes copper-plated.
What if I told you that a single 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, yes, the kind you might still find in your change, could be worth as much as $968,000 today? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what makes this story so powerful. Because the next time you hold a coin in your hand, you might just be holding a fortune. The tale of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not just about copper and value. It's about discovery, history, and the life-changing potential hidden in plain sight. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this coin is so valuable, but also how to tell if the one in your collection, or tucked away in an old jar, could be the next one worth nearly $1 million. Let's go back to 1968, a year that shaped America in unforgettable ways. The nation was going through change, socially, politically, and economically. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of Lincoln cents that year, most of them seemingly ordinary, small, and unremarkable. But among these coins, a few turned out to be extraordinary, the kind that coin collectors call once-in-a-lifetime finds. These no-mint mark 1968 Lincoln pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time didn't use mint marks. But here's where the story gets fascinating. A few coins were struck with such precision, such quality, and such rarity in era and condition, that decades later, they have become the crown jewels of American numismatics. Imagine holding a coin that traveled through time for more than half a century, surviving pockets, drawers, piggy banks, and dusty jars, only to emerge today as a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a romantic idea, isn't it? That wealth might already be in your possession without you even realizing it. But here's where most people make a mistake. They assume all old coins are valuable just because they're old. That's not how this world works. Rarity, condition, and historical significance, these are the holy trinity of coin value. And the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has all three when the right conditions are met. To truly understand its worth, you need to look closer. Literally. Let's start with the design. On one side, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, symbolizes liberty, leadership, and the American dream itself. On the reverse, the classic wheat ears were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. Yet, many collectors still refer to this era as part of the wheat lineage, a continuation of the legacy of one of America's most iconic coins. Now, here's the fascinating twist. While most 1968 pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a few were struck using experimental dyes or with unusual variations that set them apart. Errors like double dyes, misstrikes, or even planche variations can make these coins worth small fortunes. The rarest of them, in pristine mint state condition, can command prices soaring past $900,000 in private auctions. Just imagine it. Someone, somewhere once spent that very coin on a cup of coffee, not realizing it was worth a lifetime of them. And this is where excitement meets fear, the fear of missing out. Because every year, collectors and investors sweep through flea markets, estate sales, and old coin collections, searching for these forgotten treasures. Meanwhile, thousands of people unknowingly trade away their valuable coins for face value. It's happening every single day. Have you ever handed over a penny thinking it was just 1 cent, when it could have been worth your dream car or the down payment on your dream home? That's the thrilling danger of ignorance and the power of knowledge. Collectors call the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny a silent millionaire. Why? Because it hides its value in plain sight. It's easy to overlook, easy to dismiss, and yet, for those who pay attention, it can change everything. Now let's talk about grading, because condition is everything in the world of coins. A circulated 1968 penny might fetch you a few cents or $1, maybe a bit more if it's clean. But when a coin is found in near-perfect mint state, untouched by human hands, its luster intact, its surface flawless, that's where the numbers start climbing fast. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are the gold standard for verifying a coin's condition. A 1968 penny graded MS-67 or higher can already be worth several $1,000s. But when it reaches that rarefied level of perfection, where no blemish or flaw can be found, the price leaps into 6, even 7 figures. That's when collectors and investors go head-to-head in fierce bidding wars. Here's a quick humor break. It's funny how people spend hours scratching off lottery tickets, but ignore the little copper lottery sitting in their change jar. That's irony worth about $968,000, don't you think? But back to the serious side. What makes this penny story even more captivating is how it reflects a piece of American identity. The Lincoln penny isn't just money. It's a symbol of persistence, humility, and legacy. Every person in America has held one. It connects generations, from your grandparents who saved them during the Depression, to your parents who carried them to school, to you holding one now, wondering if it's your ticket to fortune. And let's not forget the collector's psychology. Coins like these appeal not just because of their monetary worth, but because they tell stories. Stories of craftsmanship, mistakes, and miracles of survival. The 1968 no-mint mark penny isn't valuable simply because it's rare. It's valuable because it's proof that something small, overlooked, and ordinary can become extraordinary when preserved, recognized, and respected. That's a life lesson disguised as currency. Now here's a thought that might keep you up tonight. Somewhere in America, there's a penny sitting in a drawer, unrecognized, ungraded, and untouched. And it could be the next one to sell for nearly $1 million. The owner might walk past it every day without realizing that their financial freedom is sitting under a pile of dust. That's both exciting and terrifying. But what about you? Do you have any 1968 pennies at home? If you do, here's how to check if yours could be worth a fortune. Start by examining the coin under good light. Look for sharp details, Lincoln's hairline, the edges of the letters, and any doubling around "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Check the coin's surface for a smooth, mirror-like finish. If you notice no scratches, discoloration, or wear, you could be holding something rare. Next, weigh it. Authentic 1968 pennies made from the copper alloy should weigh about 3.11 grams. Anything lighter or heavier could indicate a minting error, and that's where values skyrocket. Finally, get it professionally graded. This step separates dreamers from doers. Most people never take this step, which is why they never discover the true value of their coins. A simple grading could transform a coin worth 1 cent into one worth a life-changing sum. And here's where urgency comes in. The market for rare U.S. coins is hotter than ever. Wealthy collectors and investors are turning to tangible assets as the economy shifts. That means rare coins like the 1968 penny are seeing explosive price growth. The $968,000 sale isn't just a historical number. It's a reflection of what's happening right now. There's a window of opportunity, and it won't stay open forever. Think about it. Every valuable coin eventually gets discovered, sold, and locked away in private collections where it may never see daylight again. Once that happens, its price only climbs higher, but its accessibility disappears. So the time to act, to search, to sell is now. Imagine the story you'd tell if you found one. The disbelief at first. The excitement when you realize what it's worth. The moment the check clears, and suddenly, all your financial stress melts away. It's not a fantasy. It's happened before, and it will happen again. Someone somewhere will be next, and maybe that someone is you. But the value of this story doesn't end with the coin itself. It's about a mindset, the ability to see opportunity where others see nothing. It's about paying attention to the overlooked, the forgotten, the underestimated. Because in life, just like in coin collecting, those who see value before the world does are the ones who prosper the most. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't just glance at it. Look closely. Think about the history it carries. Think about the possibility that fortune favors the observant, because that tiny coin might be your key to freedom. And before you go, remember this. Wealth isn't always created by working harder. Sometimes it's created by seeing what others miss. So go through your change. Search those old jars, those dusty drawers, those boxes in the attic. The 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny may be out there waiting for someone brave enough to look. And if you're the kind of person who believes that even the smallest thing can change your life, then you're already one step closer to finding it. Thank you for watching. If you found this story inspiring and eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the hidden treasures that might be sitting right under your nose. Because sometimes, the journey to wealth begins with something as small as a penny and ends with a life beyond your wildest dreams.
Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered if it could secretly be worth more than your car, your home, or even your entire savings account? Imagine flipping over a simple 1-cent coin and realizing that it's not just copper and zinc. It's a hidden fortune. The 1969 Lincoln penny might look like any other coin in your pocket, but for a few lucky collectors, it's been a golden ticket worth up to millions of dollars. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery, value, and extraordinary story behind this rare coin that's turning everyday people into millionaires. That it all began in 1969, a year of moon landings, protests, and cultural revolutions. But quietly, at the Denver Mint, something remarkable was taking shape. The Lincoln penny, already a familiar face since 1909, was struck in the millions. Most of these coins were ordinary, simple cents that circulated through grocery stores and gas stations. Yet, among these countless coins, a handful were different. A rare misprint, a double die, or a minting anomaly created a coin so unique that it would capture the attention of collectors around the world decades later. The 1969 Lincoln penny became more than currency. It became a symbol of hidden value waiting to be discovered. Now, before you rush to your change jar, let's make one thing clear. Not every 1969 penny will buy you a mansion. Most are still worth just a cent. But the few that display the right error, the ones with doubled inscriptions on the obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears, can be worth a small fortune. And when I say small fortune, I mean up to $969,000 in today's market. Yes, that's $969,000 for a penny that once bought a stick of gum. Here's what makes it so valuable. In coin collecting, rarity, condition, and error type create the trifecta of worth. The 1969 double die obverse penny stands out because of its bold doubling, especially visible in the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. Under magnification, the letters appear doubled, crisp, and distinct. It's not a blur. It's like the mint pressed the design twice with surgical precision. Combine that with a strong mint mark and excellent condition, and you've got one of the most sought-after pennies in American history. But here's the twist. Most people have no idea they're holding one. Somewhere in the US right now, that coin might be sitting in a jar on a kitchen counter or tucked inside an old coin album. Millions of Americans collect change without realizing they might already own a treasure. And this is where excitement meets fear, the excitement of discovery, and the fear of missing out. Because once these rare coins are found, graded, and sold, their value climbs higher, and opportunities like this become rarer. Let's put it into perspective. In recent auctions, certified 1969 double die pennies have fetched prices approaching $969,000. Collectors are willing to pay such staggering sums because these coins represent more than metal. They represent history, precision, and luck. The thrill of owning something that defied the odds. Some say it's like striking gold. Others compare it to finding a winning lottery ticket that fits in your wallet. Either way, it's life-changing. And what makes it even more fascinating is how this error slipped past quality control. The Denver Mint was known for its efficiency, yet a few of these double dies escaped unnoticed. They were released into circulation, mixed among millions of normal coins. Think about that. A mint worker in 1969 unknowingly released a few small miracles into the economy, and half a century later, people are still hunting for them. It's the kind of mystery that keeps coin collectors awake at night. Who knows where the next one will appear? Could it be in your change from the grocery store? Or in that dusty piggy bank you haven't opened since childhood? But let's get practical for a moment. If you want to find out whether your penny is worth a fortune, start by examining it closely. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting. Look for strong doubling on the inscriptions and the date. Pay attention to the mint mark. The D should be clear and distinct. If you think you've found one, don't clean it. Cleaning can damage the coin's surface and reduce its value dramatically. Instead, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can turn your coin from an interesting find into a verified asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, here's a little humor for you. How many people have thrown away a penny thinking it's worthless, not knowing they just tossed nearly $1 million into the trash? That's the kind of mistake that keeps coin experts shaking their heads. But it's also a reminder of something powerful. Value often hides in plain sight. Whether it's a coin, a business idea, or a life opportunity, the treasures we seek are sometimes right under our noses. And that's where the story of the 1969 D penny becomes more than just numismatics. It becomes a lesson. A lesson about patience, curiosity, and the rewards of paying attention. Because those who look closer, who care about the details, often uncover what others overlook. That's true in coin collecting, and it's true in life. Imagine for a moment what you would do if you discovered your 1969 D penny was worth nearly $1 million. Would you sell it immediately, invest it, or keep it as a family heirloom? There's no wrong answer, but every answer carries a sense of awe. A coin that once passed through countless hands suddenly becomes the key to financial freedom, proof that fortune favors the observant. And while we talk about this single coin, let's not forget the broader opportunity. The U.S. Mint has produced billions of coins over the years, many with rare variations, errors, mint marks, and metals that tell untold stories. Collectors around the world are constantly searching, trading, and uncovering these treasures. The 1969 D penny might be the headline act, but it's part of a much larger stage where wealth, history, and curiosity meet. So, what's stopping you from checking your change right now? Maybe you think it's too late or that you'd never be that lucky. But luck, as they say, favors those who prepare. Every great discovery begins with a simple act: looking closer. That's how collectors, historians, and everyday people have stumbled upon fortunes hidden in the most ordinary places. Somewhere, perhaps in your own pocket, history is waiting to be found. The 1969 D Lincoln penny isn't just a story about money. It's a story about potential, about how even the smallest things can hold unimaginable value, about how paying attention can turn curiosity into wealth, and about how your next great opportunity might already be in your hands. So, the next time you find a penny, don't just toss it aside. Look closer. You might just be holding your future fortune. If this story inspired you to start your own treasure hunt, remember, wealth doesn't always begin with a paycheck. Sometimes it starts with a penny. Subscribe for more stories of hidden riches and rare coins that could change your life. Your next discovery might just be worth $1 million. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins tucked away in your kitchen drawer, only to discover that one of them could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But the truth is, there's a small copper-colored coin out there, a 1987 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, that could turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. Most people walk past fortunes every single day without realizing it, and this tiny coin is one of those hidden treasures. The 1987 D Lincoln penny might look like any other 1-cent coin at first glance, but beneath its dull copper surface lies a story of history, rarity, and incredible value. Minted in Denver, this penny was part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, a design that proudly honored one of America's greatest leaders. Over 4.5 billion of these pennies were struck that year, so what makes a few of them worth hundreds of thousands, even millions? The answer isn't just in the numbers. It's in the mistakes, the preservation, and the stories they carry. Now, here's where it gets exciting and a little nerve-wracking. Somewhere among those billions of coins are extremely rare versions of the 1987 D penny that were struck with minting errors. Some have double dies, where the design appears slightly doubled on Lincoln's face or the lettering. Others have off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the blank wasn't properly aligned. And then there are the ones struck on the wrong metal planchet. These are the golden tickets of the coin world. Imagine a penny accidentally struck on a dime's metal, or even on a foreign coin blank. These mistakes, preserved by pure chance, are the reasons collectors will pay staggering sums. In recent years, collectors and auction houses have seen 1987 D pennies in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch mind-blowing prices. One example, perfectly graded and free from even the tiniest scratch, reached an astonishing market value of $987,000. That's right, a single penny, less than the cost of a stick of gum, selling for nearly $1 million. It's stories like these that make people dig through their coin jars with renewed hope. But what makes these coins so valuable? The secret lies in three simple things: rarity, condition, and demand. Rarity gives a coin its mystery. After all, not many error-struck or uncirculated 1987 D pennies remain today. Condition is crucial. Even a slight scratch or spot can mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. And demand, well, that's where collectors drive prices sky high. When passionate collectors compete to own a piece of history, the numbers climb faster than you'd expect. Now, let's address the thought everyone has at this point. Could I have one of these coins? The answer is yes, you absolutely could. The 1987 D penny isn't ancient. It's still out there in circulation, hidden in old jars, dusty boxes, or coin rolls sitting in banks. It's the kind of coin most people overlook, but for those who pay attention, it can be a life-changing discovery. Imagine checking your spare change after buying coffee and realizing you're holding a $987,000 penny. What would you do first? Sell it? Frame it? Or just stare at it in disbelief? That single moment of realization, when you understand that your life might have just changed forever, is what drives thousands of collectors to search every day. And here's the twist that most people don't know. The coin's value isn't fixed. Its price fluctuates depending on market trends, collector interest, and even global economic shifts. Right now, the demand for rare and error coins is soaring as investors look for tangible assets with historical significance. In uncertain times, people turn to hard assets like gold, art, and rare coins that hold value beyond the paper economy. The 1987 D penny is part of that growing trend, a physical reminder that even small things can carry immense worth. Some experts predict that as the number of surviving high-grade 1987 D pennies continues to shrink, prices could break the $1 million mark again soon. If you've been sitting on your coin collection, waiting for the perfect moment to sell, this could be it. But here's the catch: those who hesitate often miss their window. The market rewards those who act, who get their coins graded, authenticated, and listed while demand is peaking. Now, grading, this is where most people make or break their chances. A 1987 D penny in average circulated condition might only fetch a few cents. But a coin graded MS 67 or higher by a professional service like PCGS or NGC can skyrocket in value instantly. The difference? Sharp details, no wear, full mint luster. It's like comparing a dusty old photo to a museum-quality portrait. Both tell a story, but one commands attention, and a hefty price tag. Let's not forget the human side of this. Every coin that changes hands has a story. There's the retiree who found a rare penny in his late father's collection and sold it for enough to pay off his mortgage. There's the single mom who discovered an error coin and used the profit to start her dream business. These aren't fairy tales. They're real people who understood that wealth sometimes hides in plain sight. And maybe that's the real magic of the 1987 D penny. It reminds us that opportunity doesn't always arrive in grand form. Sometimes, it's the smallest things, the forgotten coins, the overlooked details, that hold the greatest potential. It's about having the eyes to see and the courage to so. Before you dismiss that old coffee can of coins in your garage, take another look. You might be sitting on history, on wealth, on a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Every time you let a coin slip through your fingers without checking it, you could be letting go of a fortune. Think about it. Someone somewhere right now might be tossing a penny just like this one into a vending machine, not realizing it's worth more than their car, maybe even their house. It's almost poetic, isn't it? How something so small, so ordinary, can carry the power to change lives. If this story has sparked even a hint of curiosity in you, don't let it fade. Start searching. Learn what to look for, the mint marks, the shine, the subtle errors. Get your coins appraised, graded, and protected. Because who knows, the next $987,000 penny could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. And if you want to uncover more hidden treasures like this, more stories of ordinary coins worth extraordinary fortunes, make sure you stay tuned. Subscribe, because the next coin we talk about might just be the one that changes your life forever. What if I told you that the small, ordinary penny sitting in your pocket could secretly be worth nearly $1 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But the truth is, one specific 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has shocked collectors and investors alike, selling for up to $988,000 in today's market. And the craziest part? There might still be thousands of these hidden in drawers, jars, and forgotten coin collections across America right now. Let's be honest. Most of us overlook pennies. They clink around in our cars, fall between couch cushions, or end up tossed in change jars gathering dust. But this 1-cent coin from 1988 proves that even the smallest piece of copper can turn into a life-changing discovery. The question is, how can you tell if you have one of these hidden treasures? And why is it worth so much? Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know what makes this penny so valuable, but also how to identify one that could make you a millionaire overnight. Before we dive into the money talk, let's travel back to 1988. Ronald Reagan was finishing his presidency. Gas cost around $1 a gallon, and people were still using payphones. The U.S. Mint was mass-producing billions of Lincoln cents that year, ordinary copper-plated zinc coins that seemed to hold no special significance. But as history often shows us, value hides in imperfection. Somewhere in those billions of pennies, a tiny minting mistake occurred that would later turn the numismatic world upside down. You see, one small die mix-up created what collectors now call the 1988 transitional error penny. A die meant for the following year, 1989, was accidentally used to strike some of the 1988 pennies. The difference? It lies in the tiniest detail, the design of Lincoln's initials, FG, located on the reverse side near the Lincoln Memorial. On these rare error coins, the initials match the 1989 design instead of the 1988 version. This subtle variation, something you'd need a magnifying glass to notice, turned an everyday penny into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible. Think about that for a second. The mint employees didn't even notice. The public didn't notice. These coins went into circulation like any other. People used them to buy gum, newspapers, or maybe even coffee. And decades later, a few lucky collectors stumbled upon them, realizing they had something extraordinary. The shock, the disbelief, the sheer excitement. Imagine discovering that your childhood coin jar just made you richer than your neighbor with the new Tesla. Now, why would anyone pay nearly $1 million for a penny? It comes down to three powerful forces: rarity, demand, and condition. Only a handful of verified 1988 no-mint mark transitional pennies exist, and collectors crave them like gold. High-grade examples, especially those certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, are virtually priceless. When one of these coins appeared at auction, the bidding war was fierce. Seasoned investors, serious numismatists, and even wealthy hobbyists all vying for a chance to own a piece of history. And when the final gavel hit, the price tag landed close to $988,000. Not bad for something you could find in spare change, right? Of course, this kind of discovery doesn't happen every day. But here's the exciting part: you don't need luck, you just need knowledge. Most people wouldn't even glance twice at an old penny. But now that you know what to look for, you can see the hidden potential others miss. Take a close look at any 1988 no-mint mark penny you come across. Flip it over. Check the FG initials near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. If those initials match the 1989 style, with a sharper G and more defined spacing, you could be holding one of the rarest coins in American history. Still, some might wonder, what if this is just hype? What if I spend hours searching and find nothing? That's where the fear sets in, isn't it? The fear of missing out. The fear of letting opportunity slip through your fingers while someone else cashes in. The truth is, many of the most valuable discoveries in the coin world come from people who didn't give up, who checked one more penny, one more roll, one more jar. Remember, fortune always favors the persistent. And think about it, this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery. It's about finding hidden value where others see none. It's about realizing that even the smallest, most overlooked details can lead to extraordinary rewards. Maybe that's the real lesson of the 1988 penny. Greatness often hides in plain sight. Imagine telling your friends you made nearly $1 million from a single coin. They'd laugh at first, right? They'd say, "A penny? Seriously?" But when the check clears and the story hits the news, that laughter turns into awe. These stories happen more often than you'd think. Every year, new rare coins surface in places no one expected. Garage sales, estate boxes, even pocket change. So why not you? Now, let's talk about today's market. The current value of a high-grade, verified 1988 no-mint mark transitional penny can reach up to $988,000, depending on condition, luster, and eye appeal. Lower grades still fetch thousands. Coin collectors are paying top dollar right now because demand for Lincoln cents has surged. Inflation has more people investing in tangible assets like precious metals and collectible coins. And that means the window of opportunity to find and sell one of these treasures at its peak value might not stay open for long. Here's where things get interesting. Coin experts believe that some of these rare pennies are still unaccounted for, circulating quietly or sitting unnoticed in private collections. So, every time you find a 1988 penny, you're not just looking at a piece of history, you're holding a lottery ticket and your eyes are the scanner. And maybe you're thinking, well, I don't have time to check every coin. Fair point. But humor me for a moment. How long does it take to flip a penny over? 5 seconds? 10? That tiny moment could be worth almost $1 million. So, if there's even the slightest chance that one of your old pennies could change your life, isn't it worth a glance? Because here's the thing. Opportunity doesn't knock loudly. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket. So before you go spending or cashing in those pennies, take a moment. Grab a magnifying glass. Inspect every 1988 no-mint mark penny you find. You never know when you'll uncover a coin that rewrites your financial story. And if you do find one, make sure you handle it carefully. Don't clean it, don't polish it, and for goodness sake, don't toss it back into circulation. Get it graded. Protect it. That little coin could be your ticket to a wealthier, freer life. Every great fortune starts with a small decision, a moment of curiosity, a spark of belief that something ordinary could be extraordinary. That's what separates those who find treasure from those who miss it. So, the next time you hear that familiar clink of change, remember this story. Somewhere out there, another 1988 penny is waiting to be discovered. Maybe it's in your wallet. Maybe it's in that dusty jar by the bed. But one thing's for sure, the people who act, who look, who search, they're the ones who win. If you enjoyed uncovering the secret of this $1 million penny, imagine what other coins might be hiding untold fortunes. Don't let this be the last story you hear. Make it the first step in your own discovery. Subscribe now for more insights on coins worth money, rare finds, and the hidden treasures that could change your life forever. After all, the next great story might just start with you and a single ordinary penny. They say one man's pocket change can be another man's fortune. But what if the penny you almost gave away for coffee is actually worth nearly $1 million? Today, we're uncovering the incredible truth behind the 1995 Lincoln penny, an ordinary-looking coin that could turn into an extraordinary payday. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this little brown cent is creating waves in the coin world and how one could be sitting unnoticed in your collection, or even in your pocket right now. It all starts in 1995. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced over 7 billion Lincoln pennies that year. Nothing special at first glance. Just another copper-plated zinc cent featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Millions of Americans carried them daily without a second thought. But hidden among those billions were a few rare varieties, coins that would later capture the attention of serious collectors and wealthy investors alike. The difference? A small detail, a subtle imperfection, a minting error so microscopic that most people never notice it until an expert points it out. And yet, that tiny error could be the key to unlocking a six-figure fortune. Imagine the thrill of holding a penny that collectors are willing to pay nearly $1 million for. Sounds unbelievable? Let's dig deeper in coin collecting. The magic often lies in the details. An extra line, a misplaced letter, a doubling of an image, or an off-center strike. For the 1995 D Lincoln penny, certain specimens feature dramatic die errors, doubling, or even rare composition variations that make them incredibly valuable. A normal 1995 D penny might fetch you just a cent, but if yours has one of these unique characteristics, you could be looking at life-changing money. Collectors have reported that high-grade examples, those preserved in near-perfect condition with a brilliant, uncirculated shine, have sold at auctions for astonishing prices. In fact, one 1995 D penny graded by professional services in pristine condition fetched close to $995,000 in a private collector's sale. Just imagine, a single cent traded for nearly $1 million. It's not a fairy tale. It's a testament to the power of rarity, condition, and timing. Why do collectors pay so much for these coins? Because scarcity fuels demand. The fewer there are, the higher the value climbs. Wealthy collectors are not just buying metal. They're buying a story, a piece of American history, and the thrill of owning something nearly impossible to find. And here's the kicker. Many of these pennies are still out there, circulating quietly in jars, drawers, or tucked away in old wallets. Some of them might even be sitting in your house right now. Let's pause for a second. Have you ever gone through your loose change just for fun? Maybe while waiting for your laundry or cleaning out your car. What if, in that casual handful of coins, you held one that could pay off your mortgage, erase your debts, or fund your dream retirement? Suddenly, checking your change doesn't sound so boring, does it? Now, here's where things get truly interesting. When the Denver Mint struck these coins, certain dies developed microscopic misalignments or doubled images on the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." This subtle doubling effect, when crisp and clear, transforms an ordinary penny into a collector's obsession. Combine that with a flawless strike and brilliant luster, and you have a coin worth more than gold. And while most people fixate on silver dollars or gold pieces, smart collectors know that modern pennies can carry some of the highest profit margins. After all, what's more exciting than turning 1 cent into nearly $1 million? It's the ultimate underdog story. But here's the twist. Time is your enemy. Every year, coins wear down, get damaged, or lost forever. Each scratch, each scuff can cost you thousands. That's why now, more than ever, is the time to act. Check your collections. Examine your change. Pull out that old coin jar you've been ignoring for years. Because once these rare 1995 D varieties are discovered and graded, their value skyrockets, and the remaining ones vanish into private collections, possibly forever. You might be wondering, how can you tell if you've got one of these gems? Start with the basics. Look for the D mint mark just below the year 1995 on the front of the coin, right under the date. Then, inspect the lettering for any signs of doubling, especially around Lincoln's profile. If the coin appears uncirculated, meaning it has no visible wear and still shines like new, it's worth professional appraisal. Even coins with minor imperfections can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars if they display the right features. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your penny, certify its condition, and connect you with serious buyers. Think of them as your passport to the world of high-value numismatics. Without certification, your penny might be worth only a fraction of its true potential. With it, you could find yourself holding a 6- or even 7-figure asset. And here's a thought to ponder. How many times have you dismissed a penny as worthless? Dropped it, ignored it, or left it on the counter? What if the universe was trying to hand you a symbol of prosperity, and you just walked away? Life has a funny way of hiding treasures in plain sight. Collectors know that every coin has a story. The 1995 D Lincoln penny tells one of persistence, luck, and discovery. It reminds us that wealth often hides where we least expect it. For some, it's a rare gemstone or an antique watch. For others, It's a humble copper coin with a secret worth nearly $1 million, so the next time you empty your pockets, take a moment. Look closer. That ordinary penny could be your ticket to an extraordinary life. Don't let hesitation steal your opportunity. Wealth doesn't just belong to those born into it. It belongs to those who recognize it when it's right in front of them. Before you rush off, here's a word of advice. Check your coins today, not tomorrow. The market for rare pennies is booming, and as more people discover the true worth of the 1995 D. Lincoln penny, demand will only rise. Those who act now could see their pennies transform into wealth beyond imagination. If you're ready to learn how to identify, grade, and sell your rare coins for maximum profit, this channel is your gateway to financial discovery. Because in the world of collecting, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. So, are you going to keep passing over pennies? Or are you going to start looking for your $1 million miracle? The next story of wealth and discovery could begin with you. Don't miss it. Subscribe, stay curious, and let's uncover your hidden fortune. One penny at a time. What if I told you that the penny sitting at the bottom of your drawer, the one you've ignored for years, could secretly be worth more than a luxury sports car? Imagine holding a 2002 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, just a simple 1-cent coin, and discovering it could fetch up to millions of dollars. Sounds impossible, right? But this is the kind of story that turns ordinary people into millionaires overnight. You see, the 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a hidden key to wealth disguised in copper-plated zinc. Every year, the U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies, yet only a handful contain unique characteristics that transform them from pocket change into priceless treasures. And the 2002 no mint mark penny is one of those mysterious exceptions that's catching the attention of serious collectors and auction houses across America. Let's start with what makes it so special. In 2002, pennies were struck both in Philadelphia and Denver, but the ones without a mint mark come from the Philadelphia Mint. Most of them look identical, mass-produced, everyday coins. But a very few, were struck with remarkable errors or with exceptionally high-quality details that escaped the usual wear of circulation. These rare survivors are what collectors are now chasing like hidden gold. Picture this. One of these 2002 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, found in near-perfect mint state, recently sold for an astonishing $202,000. That's not a typo. A coin worth 1 cent when it left the mint, today valued like a small mansion. And the demand? Still climbing. Because once word spreads that one coin hits 6 figures, everyone wants to check their change jar, hoping to uncover their own fortune. Now, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? The answer lies in scarcity and perfection. Collectors value coins based on condition, rarity, and historical significance. The 2002 penny in pristine condition, graded MS 68 or higher by professionals, is nearly flawless. It's like finding a diamond without a single scratch. Combine that with the fact that very few exist in such state, and suddenly that tiny copper coin becomes a collector's dream. But here's the real twist. Some 2002 no mint mark pennies also feature subtle minting errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or missing layers, that make them even more desirable. To the untrained eye, these might look like imperfections. To experts, they're signatures of uniqueness worth thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's a reminder that mistakes, in the right context, can turn into fortune. Think about it. How many times have you handled a penny without really looking at it? How many have slipped through your fingers unnoticed, possibly carrying the same potential? It's both exciting and terrifying, isn't it? The idea that you might have already held a 6-figure penny and let it go for a pack of gum. Now, before you run to your coin jar, take a breath. This isn't about luck. It's about knowledge. Wealth doesn't just come to those who dream. It comes to those who recognize opportunity before everyone else does. The rare 2002 penny is a symbol of that truth. Most people walk past treasure because they don't know what treasure looks like. Here's what to look for. Start with the condition. Shiny, crisp details. No scratches or discoloration. If your penny looks untouched, it could already be valuable. Next, check for errors. Any doubling in the letters Liberty, or In God We Trust, or unusual textures near Lincoln's profile could mean you're holding a rare variety. Finally, look for proof like luster, Coins with mirror-like surfaces often fetch a premium at auction. And don't underestimate the importance of certification. A coin graded by organizations like PCGS or NGC can skyrocket in value because collectors trust verified authenticity. Imagine two identical coins, one raw and one graded. The graded one could easily sell for 10 times more. In the collector's world, trust equals value. So, why does this matter to you? Because right now, while others are scrolling through social media, someone is discovering the financial opportunity of their lifetime in a handful of old change. The wealth gap isn't just about what you earn. It's about what you overlook. And the 2002 penny is a powerful metaphor for hidden potential waiting in plain sight. Here's a story that might sound familiar. A man in Illinois once found a rare penny in a roll of coins he bought from his local bank for just $25. That one roll contained a coin later sold for over $100,000. He wasn't a professional collector. He was just curious. Imagine that one small act of curiosity leading to a life-changing discovery. It's a modern-day treasure hunt, and the next jackpot could literally be sitting in your kitchen drawer. Still, some might say, it's just a penny. But let me ask you this. Wasn't it just a piece of paper before someone printed a $100 bill on it? Value isn't in the object. It's in what people are willing to pay for it. And collectors, driven by passion, rarity, and legacy, are willing to pay a lot. The exciting part? The coin market is booming. In the last decade, rare U.S. coins have consistently appreciated in value, often outperforming traditional investments like stocks or real estate. Experts believe the demand for top-condition Lincoln pennies will only rise as younger generations enter the collecting world. That means the 2002 no-mint mark penny you find today could be worth even more tomorrow. So, check your pockets, your jars, your car cup holders, because opportunity rarely knocks twice. Each penny you examine is a potential ticket to freedom, to that financial cushion, to the wealthy lifestyle you've dreamed of but never thought possible through something so small. And here's the secret nobody tells you. You don't need to be rich to start building wealth. You just need to start looking differently at what you already have. Every coin tells a story, and the 2002 penny's story is one of transformation, of how something ordinary became extraordinary. It's a story of how value hides in plain sight, waiting for the person bold enough to uncover it. Before this video ends, let me leave you with a question. How many fortunes are hiding right under our noses because we never bothered to look closely enough? Maybe your fortune isn't locked in a bank account or buried in a stock portfolio. Maybe it's right there, resting quietly in your change jar, waiting to be discovered. If this story sparked even the slightest curiosity in you, don't let it fade. Check your coins. Learn. Explore. Because the next millionaire might not be someone on Wall Street, it might be someone like you, who decided that a penny was worth a second glance. And if you're serious about uncovering the hidden wealth sitting in your pocket change, make sure to subscribe and join our community of everyday people turning small discoveries into big paydays. Because the world is full of hidden treasures, and it's your turn to find one. They say a single penny can't change your life. But what if I told you that one small copper coin, the kind that's probably sitting at the bottom of your kitchen drawer right now, could be worth more than a luxury car or even a house? The 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but some of these coins have shocked collectors, fetching prices soaring to an incredible $205,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth a fortune. So before you toss that handful of change into a vending machine or Coinstar, take a closer look. Because today we're uncovering the fascinating story behind one of the most underestimated coins in American history, and how a simple 1-cent piece could hold the key to your next big payday. It all began in 2005, a year when most people weren't paying attention to pennies at all. The Lincoln cent, featuring Abraham Lincoln's dignified profile, had been in circulation for nearly a century by then. Millions were minted at facilities across the country. But tucked within the endless sea of coins, a few rare examples emerged, coins that didn't quite fit the mold. These were the no-mint mark 2005 Lincoln pennies struck in Philadelphia, some containing unusual characteristics, minting errors, or unique variations that transformed them from pocket change into collector's gold. Now, you might be wondering what makes a penny from 2005 so special. After all, they're everywhere. But that's the secret. Not all of them are created equal. Some 2005 pennies were struck slightly off-center, double-dyed, or had subtle differences invisible to the naked eye. A tiny imperfection, like an extra line on Lincoln's coat or a double date, could be the difference between 1 cent and $100,000. Think about that for a moment. You could have spent one of these coins years ago without realizing you were literally holding a treasure in your hand. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with what could have been your ticket to financial freedom. Painful thought, isn't it? Collectors and experts now hunt relentlessly for these rare 2005 specimens. The no-mint mark penny without obvious signs of wear, preserved in near-perfect condition, has skyrocketed in value. At major coin auctions, the excitement is electric, bidders locked in fierce competition over a coin most people overlook. In 2025, one such penny fetched an astonishing $205,000 due to its pristine state and unique die error. A single cent, born of a minting quirk, became a small metal masterpiece. But why do collectors pay so much? It's not just about rarity. It's about history, identity, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, a frozen moment in time. The 2005 no-mint mark penny represents more than money. It's a reminder that even in the most ordinary places, extraordinary value can hide in plain sight. Picture this: you're cleaning out an old box, the kind you haven't touched in years. Maybe it's filled with forgotten change, tokens from road trips, or coins from your parents' collection. Your hand brushes over a dull penny. It's from 2005. You look closer, notice something different about the edges, the shine, the way the numbers seem slightly doubled. Your heart starts to race. Could this be it? Could this be your lucky break? Many people think wealth only comes from high salaries, business deals, or inheritance. But what if it's been jingling in your pocket all along? That's the beauty of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into stories of fortune and fate, of course. Not every 2005 penny is worth 6 figures. But here's the exciting part. Knowing how to identify the right one could set you apart. Check for doubling on Lincoln's eye or date, unusual coloration, or striking errors like die cracks or missing details. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can reveal whether yours is the rare variety collectors crave. And here's something few people know. The difference between a common penny and a rare one often comes down to condition. Mint state examples, stored carefully and untouched by circulation, are the crown jewels of any collection. They gleam like the day they were struck, carrying their story intact through the decades. Now, here's a little humor to break the tension. You might be thinking, great, now I have to check every jar of pennies I've ever owned. And honestly, yes, you should. Because people are doing just that, and they're finding small fortunes. One man in Ohio discovered his rare penny while helping his daughter with a school project. He thought it looked too shiny and decided to get it appraised. That single moment of curiosity changed his financial future forever. You might not think of yourself as a coin collector, but here's the truth. You don't need to be one to strike gold. You just need to be observant, patient, and curious enough to look a little closer. Because opportunity doesn't always knock loudly. Sometimes, it just clinks softly in your hand. The market for rare coins is booming. With more Americans turning to collectibles as stable investments, demand for rare Lincoln cents has surged. Auction houses are reporting record bids, and experts predict that the value of top-grade 2005 no-mint mark pennies could climb even higher in the coming years. Imagine what a $205,000 coin might be worth in 10 more years, maybe double, maybe more. The clock is ticking, and these chances don't last forever, so before you dismiss that old change jar, remember this. Every penny has a story, and some of those stories are written in pure gold. Don't let yours go unnoticed. Look carefully, research thoroughly, and if you find one that stands out, have it authenticated. You never know, you could be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And here's the final thought to leave you with. People spend their lives chasing wealth, but sometimes, wealth is already in their hands, they just haven't realized it yet. The 2005 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that fortune favors the curious, the patient, and the brave. Now imagine this, you open your palm and see a simple penny. Will you overlook it, or will you see the potential of a small coin that could rewrite your future? The answer could be worth $205,000, or maybe even more. So go ahead, check your change, your drawers, your old coin jars. Because the next millionaire might not come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. It could be someone just like you, who took a second look at a 1-cent piece and found a lifetime of value. If you enjoyed the story and want to discover more hidden treasures like this one, make sure to subscribe. Who knows? The next video might reveal the exact coin sitting in your pocket right now, waiting to make you rich. What if the penny sitting in your change jar right now could be worth over $200,000? Imagine that. Just one small copper coin transforming your life forever. Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind the 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of America's most unexpected modern treasures. A coin that, for some lucky individuals, has turned pocket change into a small fortune. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how this humble cent has made collectors go absolutely wild, and how one could still be hiding in plain sight in your home. It all began in 2014, a year like any other for the United States Mint. Billions of Lincoln cents rolled off the presses in Philadelphia, all without a mint mark. To most people, these were everyday pennies, coins you'd toss into a vending machine or drop in a parking meter without a second thought. But among those billions, a tiny fraction carried subtle imperfections, variations, or unique die characteristics that made them stand out to sharp-eyed collectors. And as history has shown us time and again, rarity plus demand equals staggering value. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 2014 no-mint Mark penny so special? After all, it's modern, it's common, it's made of zinc with a thin copper coating. What's the big deal? Well, here's the secret. Some of these pennies exhibit rare die doubling, off-center strikes, or even missing elements in their inscriptions. Tiny details invisible to the casual eye but monumental in the eyes of numismatists. When certified by top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, these unique examples can fetch astronomical sums, up to $214,000 for pristine, one-of-a-kind specimens. Yes, that's $214,000 for a single cent. Picture this. A man in Pennsylvania casually checks his loose change one evening. He notices a strange-looking penny. The date looks slightly thicker. The design appears off. Out of curiosity, he takes a closer look under a magnifying glass, then sends it to be graded. Weeks later, he gets the call. His 2014 penny is one of the rarest known error varieties. It sells at auction for more than the price of a luxury sports car. Can you imagine that feeling? One coin changing the course of your financial life forever. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The 2014 penny represents more than just money. It's a symbol of opportunity hiding in the ordinary. Every coin collector, every casual saver, every person who's ever kept a jar of coins at home could be sitting on an undiscovered fortune. The problem is, most people never bother to look. They assume value only exists in old, ancient coins, those from the 1800s or early 1900s. But the truth? Some of the most valuable coins in circulation today were minted within the last decade. The 2014 penny proves it. Now, before you start dumping out your change jar, let's talk specifics. To spot one of these potential treasures, you'll want to examine the details carefully. Look for a strong doubling effect on the date 2014, or on Lincoln's eye and jawline. Check the lettering of Liberty, or In God We Trust for subtle distortions or extra lines. Flip it over and look for signs of a doubled or misaligned Lincoln Memorial shield. Sometimes the errors are tiny, a small off-center strike, a die crack near the rim, or a missing part of the design. Each of these could dramatically increase the coin's value. And here's the twist. Not all valuable coins come from dramatic errors. Condition matters just as much. A flawless, uncirculated 2014 penny graded MS-70, a perfect score, could be worth tens of thousands, even without a major error. Why? Because collectors compete fiercely for perfection. In a world flooded with billions of coins, true perfection is extraordinarily rare. It's the same reason a diamond's clarity or a painting's authenticity can multiply its price overnight. Think about that for a second. How many times have you handed over a penny without even looking at it? How many little fortunes have slipped through our fingers unnoticed? It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Yet, it's also thrilling because it means opportunity still exists right in your own pocket. You just have to know where to look. And if you're wondering whether the value is real, let me put your doubts to rest. Verified sales have shown that top grade or unique error 2014 Lincoln Pennies have reached prices that make headlines in collector communities. Some sell privately, some through auction houses like Heritage Auctions, where the right coin in the right condition can ignite bidding wars among passionate numismatists. The current market high? An astonishing $214,000. And that number keeps fluctuating as collector demand continues to rise. It's easy to think, well, that won't happen to me. But tell that to the person who found a 1983 double-die penny worth $15,000, or the lucky individual who discovered a 1992 close AM cent valued at over $20,000. Those people weren't professional treasure hunters. They were ordinary Americans who decided to pay attention. And that's the key. Paying attention turns luck into opportunity. So what can you do right now? Simple. Take a closer look at your change. Check your coin jars, your old wallets, that drawer full of forgotten pennies. Every one of them tells a story. Who knows, maybe one of them tells yours. Invest in a simple magnifier, learn what to look for, and if you think you've got something unusual, get it professionally appraised. The difference between a 1-cent coin and a six-figure treasure is often just one expert opinion away. And here's the most thrilling part: this market is evolving fast. Collectors are beginning to realize that modern coins, especially those from the 2000s and 2010s, can carry immense value when struck with rare variations. As awareness spreads, the window of opportunity narrows. Coins that once went unnoticed are now being snatched up, graded, and sold to the highest bidder. Time, quite literally, is money. Of course, not every 2014 penny is a jackpot. Some are worth a cent, others a few dollars. But here's the truth: if you never look, you'll never know. And that uncertainty, that what if, is what keeps fortune hunters searching, collectors collecting, and dreamers dreaming. Because the thrill of finding hidden wealth in something so small, it's intoxicating. It's the American dream, copper-plated and pocket-sized. So the next time you find yourself holding a 2014 penny, don't dismiss it as spare change. Hold it up, look closely, and think of the possibility that this tiny coin could be your key to something far greater. It's not just a penny. It's a reminder that wealth often hides in plain sight, waiting for the person who dares to see differently. And if this story has you reaching for your coin jar right now, good. That's exactly what you should do. Because someone, somewhere, will discover the next six-figure penny. The only question is, will it be you? Before you go, make sure to subscribe for more insights on coins worth real money, stories of everyday people turning pocket change into prosperity, and strategies to unlock hidden wealth right where you least expect it. Your next fortune could be sitting in the palm of your hand. Don't let it slip away.